Hello everyone, it's DiFusionGaming here for another episode of TWD. Now in this episode, I'm going to be talking about my favorite GD game modes. So for each game mode, I'm going to talk about what I like and what I don't like about the game mode. And there are 7 game modes, so I'll be going in order from least favorite to favorite game mode. So yeah, let's get right into it. Now probably my least favorite game mode is the ship. Mostly because I was never good with the ship, right from the beginning. In Clutterfunk, the very first ship part took me forever, that's the reason why it took me so long to beat Clutterfunk, because I kept on dying in that one part. And I've never really been good at straight flying. And also, when the speed of a stage is really fast, sometimes when you're a ship, it can be really hard to see what's coming up. Because when stuff are coming at you at really fast speed, you don't really have much time to pull up. But one thing that I do like about the ship is there's a lot of possibilities when using the ship. There's lots of gameplay possibilities. For example, when you're flying up, you can use something to stop your momentum. So bonk the ship head on some kind of ceiling so stopping your momentum so you can go down. So there are lots of gameplay possibilities, so that's what I like about the ship. Now next on my list is the robot. The reason why I have this on second last is because, I don't know, it's not as enjoyable as the other ones. Probably because there's not much to it. It's basically just really similar to the cube. It's basically a cube, but you go higher if you want. With other vehicles like ship, like I said, there's lots of different kinds of gameplay possibilities. The ball, you change gravity. Spider, you teleport. And the robot, you jump higher. It's not a bad game mode, but it's not my favorite. It's nothing unique about it. Alright, now third on my list is the wave. Now first of all, I suck at mini wave spam. Usually in tougher stages when I have mini wave spam, that's what always kills me all the time. And the transitions in the wave can be very buggy. Sometimes when you're playing a stage and you're in the wave and you're leaving the wave to another vehicle, depending if you go up or down, that'll determine whether you live or not. Or even depends where you go in the portal. So if you're going up and through a portal while you're in the wave, your next vehicle will kind of fling up. And if you go down, it'll just go straight down. So sometimes going up will kill you and going down will kill you. And that's not the only buggy thing about transitions. It doesn't happen so much in this update, but sometimes there'll be a wave and you'll be going into a wave, and then when you go in the wave portal, you'll die in the block it's currently on, so you have to jump into it or go up right away. But one thing I do like about the wave is the gameplay looks cool, and sometimes it feels good to play when you're going through the little corridors. Now next on my list is the ball. A bad habit I have with the ball is when I'm going in a transition to the ball and I can't really see anything, sometimes I end up clicking and then that ends up killing me. That's not really something wrong with the ball, it's just a bad habit of mine. So that's one of the reasons why I have it kind of low on the list. It's more in the middle. But one thing that's good about the ball is it has some cool gravity tricks that no other vehicle can have. When you're changing your gravity, sometimes you'll hit a gravity portal and just kind of do a little arc to get over spikes or something. I don't think any other vehicle can do this. So there are some cool gravity tricks that the ball can use. Now next is the spider game mode. This is probably one of the most buggy game modes of all of them. Because there's stuff sometimes I'll be playing a stage, while I'm in the spider, I'll tap an orb and then I'll suddenly teleport. And then I'll just die in midair. I'm not touching any blocks. That's one of the only bad bugs I know about the spider, and it doesn't really happen to every orb, it doesn't happen that often. Most of the bugs don't matter, sometimes I'll go in a spider game mode and my eye will be hanging off my character a little bit. Or I'll teleport to the ceiling, but my character won't rotate, but it'll be acting the exact same. So really the bugs don't really matter that much. And there are ways of getting around it. But one thing I do like about this game mode is it's fun to play. When it's put in good gameplay, it can be really fun. And also, clicks can also sync to the music very well with the spider, because it teleports instantly, so you can easily sync up the music with your taps. Now my second favorite game mode is the cube. Something I don't like about the cube is, I think I've mentioned it before in different videos, but when you're in a cube and you fall down, the jumps can be unpredictable. Like when you fall down as a cube, sometimes you can't see anything. You don't know if you have to jump over a spike if you don't jump. That could be because there's no floor or roof. Unlike the other game modes where when you're like in a UFO or a ball, a roof and a floor automatically appears, so you can't really have that issue. But with the cube, you can. Now similar to the spider, clicking with the cube can sync up to the music very well, and it can be really fun to play. And I tend to find good cube gameplay much more common than the other game modes. Like, it's not that often I don't find not that good cube gameplay. And I think it's pretty easy to make cube gameplay. It is definitely probably one of the easiest ones to make. That's probably why I find a lot more enjoyable gameplay when playing stages. Alright, and my favorite game mode, if you haven't figured it out by now, is the UFO. This gameplay can be the worst if the gameplay is bad, because one of the reasons why is sometimes when you're playing as a UFO, the very first tap of a UFO section can affect everything. Like if it's poorly made, you could like just jump slightly off at the beginning, and then it'll affect you at the very end. So you don't know if you're gonna live or die until you get to the end of the section. So sometimes that can be annoying when doing UFO gameplay, but I don't see it that often. But when the gameplay is good, the UFO gameplay can be really fun. This probably fits best with the music out of all the game modes in my opinion. Because when you're jumping and you're tapping or clicking or whatever you're using the jump, can fit very well with the music. Similar to the cube and spider, but this is probably the best out of those two. The reason for that is probably because of gravity changes mostly. Because sometimes there are these sections where you have a lot of gravity changes, kind of going like reverse, normal. So you gotta space them out however much you want. You can have that tap to like fast beats in the music. Where the other game modes don't really have much of that kind of stuff. I guess there's a spider where you can just like tap repeatedly, but that won't be very fun. And this is probably one of the best vehicles for gravity changes as well. It's really easy to adjust to gravity changes as the UFO, so it makes it fun. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this episode of TWD. Hope you enjoyed. And for the question, what is your favorite GD game mode? Make sure to comment that in the comments below. But yeah, that's gonna be it, so goodbye.